the first Asian player to win the Golden Boot in the world's most prestigious league, a superstar worth millions of dollars. But Son Heung-min's story was born not from destitution, but from an unrelenting discipline and the shadow of his father. This was not merely a struggle for self-proving, but an emotional battle woven with immense love and sacrifice. Son was born on December 29, 1998 in the Gangwon province of South Korea. His father, Son Heung-min, was a former professional footballer. Heung-min quickly discerned his son's prodigious talent early on, but superimposed traditional Korean discipline onto the modern football world. This created a rigid, uncompromising, and sometimes brutal regime. While other children reveled in the freedom of play, Son's childhood was dominated by grueling training sessions. Dribbling, passing, shooting, every single movement was repeated until it reached absolute perfection. His father firmly believed that a footballer's feet were the most valuable parts of their body. Consequently, when Son was barely 10 years old, his father mandated training sessions that often lasted 4 hours without a single shot on goal. His father's philosophy was simple and brutal. A footballer should not be selfish, but to be better than others, you must first be absolutely ruthless towards yourself. Perfection is never born unless you are under pressure. The pressure my father taught me became the armor I used to survive. He once recounted a harrowing training session where his father forced him and his older brother through a 4-hour running drill without the ball. By the end of the run, both Son and his brother were physically exhausted and vomiting from fatigue. His father simply observed. This type of relentless training meticulously built his mental resilience as much as his physical stamina.
At the tender age of 16, Son took the most significant step of his burgeoning career, a transfer to Amberger SV in Germany. This moment represented both the dawn of a dream and a profound sacrifice. He left the comfort of Korea and ventured alone to Germany, a country where he was utterly unfamiliar with the language and alien to the culture. Football in Europe was far more demanding than just training. He faced foreign languages, subtle forms of racism, debilitating loneliness, and immense cultural adaptation challenges. His father provided Son with a stringent formula for success in Europe. A footballer should only speak the language of football. If you dedicate yourself only to training, the noise and distractions from the outside will never be able to reach you. During his formative years in Hamburg, Son faithfully adhered to his father's rigorous discipline, morning training, afternoon language lessons, and relentless evening extra practice. He struggled intensely to assimilate into the new culture, yet with each passing day, he became incrementally faster, more technically adept, and physically stronger. However, even during this time, the immense shadow of his father's expectations loomed large over him. Throughout his entire early career, his father meticulously restricted Son's emotional life. Until Son reached his 30s, his father had strictly forbidden him from getting married or entering into any long-term romantic relationship. In his rigid view, romance was the single greatest enemy that could completely derail a footballer's laser-sharp focus. This restriction stemmed not only from the deep respect Son felt for his father, but also from his father's profound fear of seeing his own prematurely ended career failure reflected in his son. Sacrifice is not about suffering, it is about ruthlessly eliminating the unnecessary things in your life to make absolute room for your greatest dream.
The most dramatic inflection point of his decorated career arrived unexpectedly in 2020. According to stringent South Korean law, every male citizen was mandated to complete their compulsory military service. Son was 28 years old, the biggest star at Tottenham, and unequivocally at the peak of his playing career. Football authorities globally feared that this obligation would irrevocably destroy his career trajectory. Son had managed to significantly reduce the normally 2-year military service term to just a crucial 3-week basic training period by valiantly winning the 2018 Asian Games gold medal. However, even these 3 weeks proved to be incredibly demanding, even by general military standards. A multi-millionaire star who usually traveled on private jets and enjoyed immense public adulation suddenly found himself in a desolate military camp amongst ordinary recruits. During the intense 3-week training, he participated in grueling chemical warfare drills, endured arduous long-distance marches, and was required to use live ammunition during shooting practice. This profound experience further solidified his immense mental fortitude. He finally understood that the pressure on the football field is absolutely nothing compared to the genuine, real-life pressure experienced in a military camp. Fear is not the rivals on the field. Fear is the possibility of failure itself. But if your mind is strictly disciplined, fear is nothing more than a temporary illusion.
Upon his triumphant return to the fields after completing his military service, Son was noticeably stronger, even more focused, and imbued with a renewed sense of freedom. The immense discipline had ceased to be solely his father's rigid rule. It had, through sheer repetition and will, become an intrinsic, defining part of his character. His performances at Tottenham Hotspur rapidly propelled him into the exclusive echelon of the Premier League's absolute best forwards. He wasn't merely a prolific goalscorer. He was a natural-born leader who opened up space for teammates, exhibited a relentless work rate, and was adored by fans globally for his perpetual infectious smile and profound respect for the game. The 2021-2022 season marked the undeniable climax of his career. Throughout that season, Son delivered a spell of sensational world-class form, culminating in him netting an astonishing 23 goals in the fiercely competitive Premier League. The most incredible statistic? He achieved this monumental feat without scoring a single goal from a penalty kick. This was the purest, most profound testament to his raw, elite talent and clinical finishing ability. At the close of the season, he shared the prestigious Golden Boot Award with Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. This moment was not just a personal triumph, it was a victory of immense significance for all of Asian football. He had irrevocably transcended being just a footballer. He was now a living, tangible proof that the dreams of every child from Asia could, against all odds, indeed be realized. Success is not merely a consequence of talent, but the direct result of the relentless, unseen discipline you choose to demonstrate while others are comfortably sleeping.
The most beautiful and enduring aspect of Son Heung-min's remarkable story is that despite the crushing pressures of discipline and his arduous upbringing, he never, ever lost his innate joy and profound respect on the field. He consistently chose respect over aggression and an endearing smile over confrontation. This ever-present smile, in fact, serves as a powerful testament that despite his challenging past and his father's strict education, he ultimately found and defined his own unique path. His father bestowed the discipline, but Son masterfully blended that discipline with profound humility, immense hard work, and genuine affection for the game and his peers. Today, Son is rapidly becoming a legend, celebrated not just for his extraordinary footballing skill, but for his impeccable human values. He is a formidable warrior who successfully transformed his father's immense pressure into an impenetrable armor, converted the stark hardships of mandatory military service into unwavering motivation, and courageously manages to smile through it all.
Son Heung-min's incredible story powerfully demonstrates that the only way to genuinely overcome life's obstacles is not by adopting a harder exterior, but by cultivating a fiercer, more disciplined core combined with an open, resilient heart. Remember this: success is not defined by how far you have traveled, but by how much you are willing to leave behind to achieve your ultimate goal.
If this story of discipline, sacrifice, and the relentless fight against rejection inspired you, remember, every legend has an untold story. Don't just watch the journey, join it. Subscribe to Untold Football Stories and hit the like button to help us share the truth behind greatness with the world.